Thank you. Welcome. Let's move on to the lesson so we can end early for you to prepare for your exam. Thank you very much. All right. So today is the last lesson for this month, environments and ecology. And guess what, Jaden and Junie? Surprisingly, this question or this topic came out for the Set 4 student this month for their prelim exam for social study. And one of them, if you're not mistaken, came out for their exam as well, for essay writing. So, wow, jackpot to them. But of course, it would be good if they come out in the O level. But if they don't come out, also good for you. You'll come out for your next year. Okay, this is did not change my okay, because I lost the file that day. My hard disk dropped on the floor, crashed, all the data gone. Thank God I got this backup here. So let's move on to today's lesson. So we quickly say, okay, so same thing here. Jaden, would you mind read to the class again, please? Thank you very much.
The statement, your heart to rule and your brain to conquer the world, is a metaphor suggesting that a balance between emotional intelligence, heart, and rational thought, brain, is the key to success. It implies that while passion and intuition are important for setting goals, ruling, logical planning and execution are needed to achieve them, conquering. Neither the heart nor the brain should dominate entirely. Rather, they should work together.
So this is my philosophy after many years of teaching and my own understanding of this kind of psychology and epistemology or pedagogy, whatever you call it, methodology, okay, everything. So my question to both of you are, tomorrow, Jaden, you got exam now?
Today have, tomorrow don't have.
Oh, today what exam?
Paper one,
English paper one,
both, yeah.
1 and 2.
No, Chinese and English paper.
Wow. Wow, your school torture you. Oh, some school only 1 day, 1 paper leh. Wow, you 1 day, 2 paper. Wow, steady. They expect you commando training. Okay, so what is your paper one? Which question you did for your paper one? Of course, English lah.
Uh, I picked the one about it is more difficult growing up now than growing up in the past for teenagers. How far do you agree with this statement?
Oh, okay. We will head on to these questions. Okay, just a quick one. Which one do you agree that nowadays the teenagers is more tougher than the last time?
Yeah.
F you. F you, man. Fine. Excuse me, correct or F word, right? Fine. Good. Fine with you, man. But I totally disagree with you, man, bro. But you got your take, huh? So I also used to be a teenager with a lot of nice hairstyle. Yeah. Okay, hold on to your laughter. I know you're gonna vomit already. Thanks, Jaden. You haven't taken your dinner. Junie, have you finished your paper one, Junie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Today or a few days ago?
Oh, it was on Monday. Today I got bio and A math.
Wow,
Tomorrow I got
huh?
and history.
3 subjects into 1 day.
A math and bio is today.
Then tomorrow?
Tomorrow is chemistry and history.
Oh my God, heavy subject, heavy subject. Thanks for coming in. So, will you both of you will be coming in next week also, Thursday?
Yeah, no more exams on Thursday.
Oh, so you're coming in. Okay, next month will be very interesting story and topic. It's called Law and Crimes and Punishment. So we might be playing Sherlock Holmes and detective. So, hey, Junior, I ask you, which question do you do for your essay?
I forgot.
Come on, man. Just a few days, you dementia, my bro.
I got a lot of things to remember.
Understand. I think over means over. Okay, so just a quick one. Do you do argumentative or recount or descriptive or what?
I did discussive.
Discursive, okay, sure. So guys, why I ask these questions is practically very simple. I mean, seriously, when you're writing this essay, Jaden and Julie, will you use your brains to write with the passions or using your logical to think that this is supposed to write in this way to present your case study to your examiner to show that when you're presenting the logical views, are you showing your heart, your emotional view to convince and connect and also to carry out your weightage arguments with the examiner. Same things that all the subject they're going to do. Okay, let's talk about how can we do how and what we can do to protect our environment. So I want you all to do this. Okay, to protect Singapore environment, individual and organization can focus on reducing waste, conserving resources, and supporting sustainable practices. This includes adopting a circular economy mindset, promoting green commutes, and fostering a city in nature. So guys, may I ask the both of you, if you are the MP now, and let's say this is might be, I mean, your exam is going to end soon. We take it as next year for your O level or your future exam. So imagine now you are an MP of Singapore and you are tasked to be the Ministry of Environment, okay, or Ministry of Health, whatever it is, Junie and Jaden. So what is the first thing that you will want as a Singaporean, you know, the ICG, what does ICG stand for? It means that the individual, your community, and the government. So in short, I can give. Okay. Take note of these three things. It's going to be very super powerful for your social study as well. So is it the individual efforts or the community efforts? The community efforts, we are talking about volunteers, we are talking about organizations, right? NGO, okay, non-government organizations, or we are talking about people who organize like a group of people go to the beaches and East Coast Park to clean out the litters, okay? Or go to AWA or old folks home for volunteer work, this so on, or go to the Children Cancer Society to help them, you know, to sing song, play with them and things like that. That's volunteer. And the government policy. So can think about it. What are the few things that you think that can help Singapore and protect Singapore? You can unmute your mic when you're ready. Because the answer later will flow down the next few pages. I know your paper one is completed, but let's think like, let's say this is a comprehension passage on futures for visual graphic text, or your editing, or even better still, your oral presentation. So imagine you're watching this video about sustainability, eco-friendly, then the teacher asks you, can you give me a few ways to how can we protect the environment in Singapore? Who want to go first? I start first. I will use the 3R. Okay, the reduce, reuse, and recycle. So I feel that recycle, to reduce is very hard to reduce. Seriously. I mean, seriously, Jaden and Junie, I think we are still very not say advocate. We are still like to use plastic bag. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Okay, we will use lesser. And to reduce is unlikely, very hard. But to recycle and to reuse and recycle, which one is much better in terms of for protecting and our environment in Singapore? I think recycle is more important than reuse. So you can reuse the thing how many times? But at the end of the day, if after reuse already, the best is whether this reused product can be recycled and is even save the environment much better. For example, plastic will take about 100 years to dissolve. And then with this kind of molecules and the microorganism, the plastic will never ever dissolve on the surface of the earth. And then what happens, these little things, microorganisms become sit inside the sea and the ocean. And these our dear little fishes going to eat it and then end up on a dining table. We still eat the things and end up we also got cancer, right? So that is our future generation. So I feel that to protect the environment in Singapore, we need these 3R. As I think you all have used this before in your primary school and secondary school. Let's see, is it true or not? There you are. Cannot give you so many. For individual, reuse and reduce. So the minimized waste generation, reuse item, and properly recycle materials. So to reduce, just like reduce the carbon footprint. Okay, depends on how you see it. Okay, back to you. See whether you can hit some of the jackpot on the answer here. Junie, when you start first?
We can plant more trees.
Plant more trees. So are you talking about these? Hey bro, it came out in the one of the exam paper in set 4 social study about tree planting to make sure that we support the green plan, right? You know about the green plan, that the governments have, and to have more tree means to give more oxygens and have more photosynthesis. Thank you. Back to you, Jaden. And sorry, Johnny, got any more besides plant more trees?
Also like use more public transport instead of the private vehicles.
Oh, okay. Hey, bro, Johnny, Jaden also listen. Imagine, Johnny, one day you are very successful, you earn a lot of money. Will you still take public transport, or you want to drive the car behind me? Or you want to buy a 7-seater to fetch your parents, your children, your 3 lovely kids, your wife, your parents? Will you prefer to ask them to take public transport, or you want to drive your Mercedes Benz with 7-seater? Back to you, Junie.
The best for like not I don't know, like for the most occasion I'll take public transport.
So you still want them to take public transport?
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, okay, lor. It's your choice. Jaden, will you want
Yes.
public transport?
Yeah, why not?
你真是你们两个不孝子，这虐待你父母亲，他们老人家已经这么老了，7老80了，那给他们享受一下坐你的车吗？驾他们兜风吗？哇，真是的，你这么吝啬鬼了，你们这两个。I would not take public transport, man. I gonna F the public transport, man. You know what's the F word now? Fine with it. I don't am going to take it the public transport. Seriously. I will really drive. I don't care about the environment to me, seriously. I'm seriously, I'm telling you, because if you want to talk about saving environment, tell the American people to start saving it. So I mean, I respect the two of your views that you want to still take public transport. Nothing wrong. Thank you, Junie. Any more points to add on to this?
No.
Okay, thank you. Back to you, Jaden.
That thing like
What
where
thing?
you, where you grow plants along the walls of buildings.
Oh, yeah. But that one very hard to maintain, bro. Very dirty and disgusting. I happened to do this before in one of my pop-in. What you call that? Vertical growing, vertical planting, right? Vertical planting. Vertical, correct, on the wall, right? Vertical planting. I wouldn't really support that. But it's good, it's nice, but because the maintenance, in fact, end up I heard I spend more money to maintain the vertical planting. Okay, what else? Wait. What is the rationale and the purpose and the logic to have this vertical planting on the wall that will protect our environment? Back to you.
It's roughly the same concept as the trees are. More plants and then photosynthesis more, and then more oxygen, less carbon dioxide, yeah.
Okay, Ken. Any more?
And like persuade people to switch to EV.
EV car,
Yeah.
Hey, don't talk so much, seriously. I know BYD has taken up a lot of percentage, a lot of sales in this year, car sales. Honestly, I will still hesitate to drive a EV BYD car. I do respect the BYD, the Xiaopeng, the XPeng, and all the Chinese-made EV car. I have full respect with them. But I'm a bit skeptical of Jaden and Junie. You know why? After 10 years, it's just like a handphone, right? Jaden, you agree now? After 2-3 years, the handphone battery will get lesser and lesser, right? Then you know last time, I'm not sure, Jaden, you know, Junie. Last time our handphone we can change battery, like, you know, right? We can change battery. But now I cannot change. Do you know that? You don't know, Last time the Nokia phone and the Samsung phone and the the iPhone, I think iPhone, they can change battery, so the battery lousy, you can change and put in. So the manufacturer very smart, because if you keep changing battery means you got no sales, right? People will not buy new phone, correct now. So they took away the idea, so they have the built-in battery for you not to able to exchange another battery. So last time got no power bank, so we all carry extra battery. We charge the battery, then we carry 2 batteries. It's so bulky and so heavy. And then after that, the first battery no more, we put in the second battery, something like that. So as we know that the battery lifespan got limit. So my take is that I ask the BYD salesperson, after 10 years, the battery will deplete. So how are you going to take out the whole entire car casing and put another battery or pump in the gas or pump into whatever it is to let the battery to go back to the original shape. And don't forget, we are driving a car that is on the road for 10 years. Rain or shine, the surface of the road. Of course, Singapore is still good, but you know, most of them like to drive the car to JB. Your parents like to drive your car to JB, not Jaden? Does your daddy drive his car to JB? You know what is JB, Johor Bahru, Malaysia.
Yeah.
Your daddy drive to Malaysia?
Yeah.
Or Juni leh? Does your daddy drive his car to Malaysia?
No.
No, oh, that means, for me, Uncle Raymond don't drive my car to Malaysia. Seriously, I don't like, because I still support Singapore and not going to the JB because the long jam and all the not very safe, secure. That's how I feel. I'm not against anybody going to JB. That's my perspective. Okay. And I just want to spend my good driving days here in Singapore. And yes, let's see what you say is true. Okay, conserve the resources, save water. So washing clothes, that means when you bathe, you put the water in the pail. Then after that, the water can wash the floor or can do a lot of things. But is it good or not? Next, we have support local produce. Just like this one, you see. Imagine a lot of people start to go JB and buy things. That means you got more public transport, and then the MRT going to Malaysia, JB, and then a lot of cars. Whether you're EV cars or petrol cars, you go in, out, there will be definitely pollution and jams and heat up the environments. And for goodness sake, if everyone go in and out, of course, it will increase the carbon footprint, right? Why not buy things in Singapore? So I got students tell me, Jaden and Judy, no lah, Singapore products very expensive. I go JB, I buy one thing, it's equivalent to buy 3 things here. Why not? I mean, seriously, okay, that is your call, your take, but I feel that the time spent in the jam, the queuing out, and all the things, I don't think it's worth it, but each to his own reason. So, and embrace green commute. So like what you say just now, Junie and Jaden, take public transport. Yeah, it's true that you score already. So imagine your essay next year got this type of question, you score already. Adult sustainable habits, bring bags, bottle, bring your own bags and bottle, and especially when you go to where Sheng Siong, NTUC, FairPrice, Giants, which one? All these places are when supermarkets, they will ask you, do you want 纸袋吗? Do you want plastic? And Donkey, all these you carry your own bottles and containers, which is good. You save the environment, and IKEA also. But then again, this is not just a long-term solution. Is there a much better long-term solutions? When what happens if I forgot to bring my own bag to the grocery there and supermarket to buy things? Would you give me a bag? So instead of buying the bag, will you give me a free paper bag? Right, something like that. Get involved, participate in community cleans up, volunteer. Now that's why I told you, right? Go to the beach, clean up, or even some litter picking. I think your VIA for the past 2.5 years or 3 years, coming down 3 years. Do you really go down to litter picking? Do you really advocate for tree planting? Do you really go to the beaches and pick up litter? And do you really go and you see what I mean? Do the 3R, something like that? Or do you really help the town to go door to door and collect old newspaper and then use the old newspaper to exchange something and do all these things? I have seen that my this neighborhood, this neighbor-based secondary school, they will knock on our door and then show us the poster saying that we are here for the 3R. We are collecting newspaper for whatever reason, and then this newspaper can recycle to toilet paper, whatever paper. So this is called the get involved. Okay. So start the project. Green Plan 2030. Please take note of Junie and Jaden. This is a very important Green Plan 2030 from Singapore. By the time you're already 22, 是吗, Jaden? 22 吗? Or 20? 2022, 2021, by the time your age like that, Junie, Jaden, you are really very mature already. You might be halfway through your national service, or coming out from national service and going for your university study. And this is where you are turning a young adult and you have to start a project by maybe, seriously, Jaden and Judy, one of my ex-students who is now in NTU the final year. You know, the first year he do this project, something like helping the people. I think you all went to my sister place, the Grassroots Club, right? Common folks, that this month is the last few days already. They're going to close the entire place no more. I feel very sad. So she asked Auntie June, my sister, say, Auntie June, can I ask you to volunteer, and not say that, do something like volunteer and give free ice cream as a charity work. So, okay, you know what? I didn't know in Singapore, their children never in their entire life eat an ice cream before. Never eat an ice cream before. And never, no. I was so shocked. I said, are you sure not, Jenny? He said, yeah, 真的, Uncle Raymond. When I give the voucher, they were so happy. Then I asked, cross-referencing Junie and Jaden, where do you do that? Oh, 孤儿院, orphanage. And I'm surprised when they give them, they took the voucher and they really had joys of tears. And she was telling me, oh, I also feel very emotional, Uncle Raymond. I say, girl, you did a good job. You really start the project, like this kind of project to help. This is nothing to do with Green Plan, of course. This has got to do with kindness and gracious society to help these children. And I believe these children, in the first time in their life to eat this ice cream, they will remember who gave this ice cream to them, and they realize that it's becoming part and parcel of their life. First time I ate A&W, was it A&W hot dog? It was poor. I will never forget that the experience when my uncle brought me there all the way from Toa Payoh. We have to take a bus all the way to Bukit Timah to eat an A&W hot dog and root beer float. That was the first time I eat a burger in my life. So this is something like in future, so what you all can get all the A's and good result. But then when you want to go further study and come out to work, the employer nowadays is to see how much you can contribute to the society. So my take for the two of you when you go for JC next time or poly or university, select a volunteer not say job, a volunteer course that will help these people like my ex-students, you see. And this will help you in your profile. And this will create the environment that people will look at you. Oh, Jaden, you have done this. On top of good result, Junie and Jaden, you got this, you've done this before. And you are not just doing it for the sake of academic environment, but you're doing it for the environment that you really care for. And that is the physical environment. That is a human's HCI, not human computer interchange. It's human community interchange already. HCI by right is human computer interchange, but this is human community interchange already. Like really, like this afternoon, my wife went to AWA to give foods to all these family who are really very super poor, who can't even afford to buy a lot of things. Surprisingly, Singapore still do have this. The reason a few of them are Jaden and Julie, it's not I look down on their environment. Number one is they are very poor because of lowly educated. Number two, because they come from broken family. Number three is because their parent passed away. And number four is the worst. It's the worst, you know why, Jaden and Julie? Their parents give up on them. And they are forced to live on their own. That means they never enjoy the meanings of family love. Wow. And the last one is the even worse. The disabled, the spastics, and then the special needs kids. So therefore, looking at this is like conscious purchasing. So Jaden and Junie, let's talk about this. A quick one. Just read. Once you finish reading this, silent reading. Just thumbs up, okay? Silent reading, I expect you all to read now. There's a reason. Once you finish, just thumbs up with your emoji. Because I can't see you, Junie, to thumbs up. Thank you, Junie. Okay, guys, I asked you this question. Since you read this already, I will take it that you know what is the meaning of boost energy, encouraging, foster, support, okay, and build organization awareness. Junie, Jaden, let's say now you are branded. You know who is LV, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Gucci, right? All the Rolex, all the branded goods that sell, let's say fashion, fashion. That means the autumn, spring, summer collection fashions, Giorgio Armani just recently passed away, about 80 plus or 90 years old. Okay. Now, guys, I ask you, would you, let's say your fashion, Jaden and Junie, because I can't see you, Junie, would you take your fashion, let's say 那个衣服已经过时了, you know fashion, right? Fashion 过时了. Would you rather burn and throw away your fashion designer clothes, or will you give away to the poor people to wear? Good question, Have you think of it, Okay, so Jaden, your brand is called your is Leong, right? L, right? Leong, right? Your surname is Leong. Say let's say it's JL better than LV, but JL brand. That means your one clothes is at least $10,000, Okay, that means super rich people only can afford to buy lah. I'm not saying poor cannot buy, can buy lah. They end up their 1 year salary to buy the clothes. So Juni also is called JU. Your surname I can't remember, so sorry, unless you tell me. So this is also branded $10,000. But because after a few years the fashion 死掉了嘛，没有对吗？没有人要买了。可是你很多货嘞，you still got a lot of stock Would you just dump and burn? Or okay, never mind, I give free to all these low income people or even whoever need the clothes. Junie, yes or no?
Yes.
Or you want to give away all your branded clothes to the poor people,
Yeah, cause it's
Why?
nothing to me. Cause I have the money to buy new clothes.
Okay, thank you. That's all, How about Jaden?
Yes.
You will give,
Yeah.
Stupid, two of you very stupid, I will burn, You know why? Because it's a branded good, Can you imagine if I'm a rich person and buy your goods, then suddenly I see a beggar, a low income, wear the same clothes as me? My status drop, bro. I drop true now. Nobody will buy straight away. I tell you, you buy, you bankrupt already. 没有人要跟你买你的衣服了. But because you are so rich, right? I rather burn away, and whatever profit I earn from those clothes, I donate some money to the charity, and buy those reasonable economical goods, right? 给他们，对不对？觉得you make sense? So I still preserve my JL brand, Only the rich people can buy this I want to say Hokkien, sorry, $10,000 products, 你明白吗？如果你给那些就是说比比皆是，到处每个人你们华语很好的比比皆是，每个人都觉得 JL brand 的鸡蛋我不要买了啦。那以前我穿 JL brand 就是哇，这个人是 CEO of Citibank，这个是CEO of OCBC Bank，这是那个总裁 for 华为。可是现在连那个小贩的那个扫地工人也是穿 JL brand 还是 JU brand。那个 beggar 也是穿 JL brand，跟我跟乞丐这的，我是丐帮我是丐帮帮主是吗？你明白我意思吗 ，Jaden and Junie? Right, I'd rather burn and throw away and keep my reputations. I know a lot of people say it's waste things, pollution, all these things. But yeah, I earn a lot of money, but I still do volunteer here. So obviously you never read, You all never read, right? The last point. Got you, man. So sorry, the conscious of this one something to powder a food for thoughts, So no. Jaden, you agree with me? You agree my argument? Do you accept it? So now you want to burn or you want to give? Burn, right? Throw away, right? I still insist to give, 哇，你是阿弥陀佛，你是唐三藏，我拜你，我拜你。OK， 你想一下，就你还是 give 还是 burn？
I will give.
You still continue give, You don't want to burn, You don't want to throw away,
Yeah,
Why? After I
because
explain
I
to you, you
can,
still insist.
because it's like the old types. I can make new types in the same thing.
You what? Sorry.
I can like make new types of like fashion clothing since I'm already a clothing brand, you know.
Also, you don't care what people perception is lah.
Yeah.
I think okay, you got the point there. How about you, Jaden?
I find a better way to dispose of it.
Or let the animal wear.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
F you lah. I F you, fine. Sure. Freak you. I won't be surprised, right? Maybe due to our creativity, ladies and gentlemen, the summer collections for all the dogs. The first one, Corgi clothes. Next, German Shepherds. Third, the Chihuahua, but only the certain parts of the clothes will be wear. Then can you imagine all those who do all this fashion are all the like, you know, the way they will behave. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Sorry, okay. You know what I mean? All the fashion people are very funny. So here is invest in green technology. So yes, I think the two of you, your answer is very firm and confirmed. Now you understand why I just now asked you to read like Jaden or Junie, the brain and the heart. Logically speaking, you burn and throw away because you want to maintain. But your heart told you that, okay, no, Juran, we still have to give. But Junie, you got a very good point. And Jaden, you also got a very good point to say, no, I can use different way, think of a freak ideas to make this. So even though it's already out of fashion, but these old fashions, I can turn on to something rather to pollute the environment. See, like city natures, Singapore green bands. Okay, we talk about the national parks and all these things to make things very interesting and fun. It's just like the Zhongqiu Jie is coming, right? Last time we used candle and all this, but now some they use a lantern with battery operated. Can we have a lantern that is solar power? Can we have a lantern that is maybe self-sustainability power? We never know, right? So to have a zero waste nation is a bit ridiculous. I wouldn't believe it will work. In my sincere opinion, zero waste, man. You maybe Junie and Jaden, maybe near to zero waste management 可以 but total zero waste management 我可能在我以身之在as long as I'm still alive I don't think it's, in my opinion it's possible to have zero waste nation. Number one, sorry, Jaden and Junie, no racist. First, you go and tell the American people, unlikely they will do that. Even they have to cut down. The next is, you know which country? Start with I, end with A. You know which country? At night, it's very hard to see them. Which country? Only daytime and morning, maybe you can see them very clearly. Which country, Jaden? Say that.
I have no idea.
You sure not? Start with I, end with A. Junie, which country?
India.
Yeah, precisely. I told you, right? What is your problem? My country with the caste system. You know, right? That day we did the caste system, right? Remember the CASTE, the caste system? It's so hard to change their mindset. I'm so sorry. I love India. Okay, but there are certain group of people, I really hate them because they are discriminating. So I'm making a joke out of it. I'm so sorry. I think all of us do have some discrimination one way or another. Let's be honest. Let's be true. Okay. But don't go until extreme like my this poor friend Charlie Kirk like that. You know about Charlie Kirk, right, Jaden? Huh? You don't know Oh my God. Maybe after the exam you can find out Okay. He's the one who say that white supremacy. He's the one who say Jesus is still the best. Whereas the rest, the Islam in America should not be praying one day 5 times. He said that they are not supposed to pray one day 5 times on the soil of America. Do you agree or not agree, Jaden? Not agree, right? And he is the one who against LGBT. Do you agree or not agree? So he's the one who against that George Floyd. And you know it's George Floyd, right? The guy who kinda hantam very badly, the black guy. Black matters. So that he say he asked for it when he got caught by the police. Okay, so he has his point. Certain views and certain action he say is correct. But you see, we are living in a sustainable living environments. We are supposed to respect one another. So if you are telling me that zero waste nations for India is not possible, it's definitely not possible. You go and tell them in the Ganges River that they call the Holy River. You know how freaking smelly, dirty the river is until today. And yet people still can bathe them because it's holy water, holy river. Oh my goodness, seriously, this is 21st century, bro. Sorry. I respect India, but not to all the certain people there. So sorry. So water conservation. This is a very argumentative questions I like to ask the two of you. Would you ever dare to drink new water, Junyi and Jaden? I will never want to drink a new water unless I'm in the forest, unless it's really 没有东西喝了，无可奈何, I die must drink this water there and drink. If not, I'm so sorry. I'd rather not to drink. I will take the water to water the plant. Back to you, Junyi. Would you want to drink the new water? Yes or no?
It is
Why
not that
and
bad.
why not? Why and why not? Sorry.
I would drink new water because its taste is like fine with me, and then is sustainable for the environment, and it's a like it's a you get you get like some exposure to it before like the world
Can you see my hand moving?
water shortage.
Do you see my hand moving just now?
Yeah,
You serious? Okay.
it's not that bad.
You serious? Okay. Thank you, sir. How about you, Jaden? Will you drink the new water?
New water.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Because
Huh?
new water is in that Singapore that
Yeah. Of course, the
Okay,
reverse
okay.
also of what? Reverse osteoporosis. You sure not?
drink it because like it has gone through a lot of processes, right?
You know
And-
that kind of water come from what kind of water, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
pee, the urine, the shit, the menses, blooding, all your vomiting, all your dirty water, then they go through a lot of process and become new water, right? You know,
Yeah.
the two of you know, no way, man. I'm not going to drink that, man, bro. No way. No way. I know it's a good invention for Singapore and good thing for Singapore for sustainability. No. Also, yesterday there was an argument with this, so I'm not going to drink this. Sorry, water conservation, new water is out of my questions. So circulatory in waste material. No. Okay, I just argued with my mom just now about this new water. Okay, so he said, yeah, just like, what happened? You're in no drink water to drink, you still die have to drink. Yeah, unless I die have to drink, then 没有话讲 lah. If I don't need to die have to drink, then I will not drink lah. So incentive or policy. So the government has changed a lot of ways to make the climate. And you know about climate voucher, right? The $300. You know, when you and your parents go to Gain City, Harvey Norman or Courts, you see the refrigerator and aircon. If they have more ticks, meaning that this refrigerator, these aircons is very eco-friendly, environmental friendly, and then you will save the electricity. You will have less carbon emissions or something like that from the refrigerator. You know, last time the refrigerator was made with a special gas called CFC. It's a very long name, and because of that, it spoiled our ozone layer. And because of that, about 190 over countries sit down in the United Nations to decide to bring out this CFC out of totally don't have. But I don't like it now, Jaden. You know what? You know Pluto, planet Pluto. You know, scientists say planet Pluto is a dwarf planet, so it's not included in the solar system. Then, Jaden, what happened to Mickey Mouse dog? Where he go? Damn it, man. This Pluto. Freak. Poor Pluto, Mickey Mouse dog. I got you, man, bro, Jaden. Okay, that is a very lame joke. But joke aside, I'm very serious. When they announced that Pluto is not in the ninth planet solar system, Uncle Raymond cannot accept it. You are telling me, that means because planet is a dwarf, right? 7个小矮人 就是说 that means in the world, the human world, those people who are dwarf cannot consider human So they are subhuman, is it? That's not fair, what? You get me? That's not right. All along, Pluto has been the planet there, and now you tell me they are subplanet, like a dwarf. Are you telling me human, those dwarf is not human? They also contribute to the society. They're also living. We are all living creatures. We are all living things. Sorry, that is how you see. You make argument, guys. Take note, when you do all this argument, you must have substantiate evidence to do it. All right, so I leave it to you. Okay, let's talk about this one. Okay, guys. I want you to create some questions on this. So World Environment Day. So stop scribblings about pollution. That means to say something about pollution is how bad, how good, how what it is. I must stop this. I want to continue with pollution. I don't give a damn. I don't care about how it is. Let me start first. So I use Prata, guys, your comprehension paper too. The P stand for what is the purpose of this poster is to tell us that we need to be in harmony with nature, especially the plants that give us photosynthesis and oxygens. This time is not called reliable. I call it, how can you relate this poster? The question that you're going to answer later on in terms of the target audience. The target audience is all the human beings on this Mother Earth. And then what is the tone? The tone, it seems like very serious and must be three things: a healthy, happy, and harmonious relationship. And the last A itself is a list of 8 W and 1 H. Where, when, what, whose, and why, and how, and whom. So, gentlemen, I'll give you some time to create 3 questions, okay? And then we'll answer that. Okay, you can give it to me the answer. So I give you some time. Imagine now, instead of you doing the visual graphic text, you're now creating question for Uncle Raymond to answer. Okay? So 3 questions. Of course, you can select like 3 bullets. Or do you think this is a happy human hands? Do you think the hands of the plant is good? Do you think shaking hand with the plants is a good thing? Something like that. You can create all these kind of questions. So you are the architect of the questions. I'll come back to you and give me 3 questions. Thank you very Okay, can I have the questions now? Thank you. How do you think that the image in the poster reflects the poster titled the World Environment Day? I think it's true that it is important, Jaden, because if we are not going to shake hands with these plants, eventually all these plants will be destroyed due to deforestations. At the same time, we are not going to take care of these plants with better oxygens. The environment will be getting worse because you're creating more natural disaster. Why do you think the word save is in capital letters? Oh, so it's an immediate actions. It's bold and big to telling you it's like help me, Jaden, please. So it's like thank you, Jaden. Shut up, Uncle Raymond. I can hear you. No need to shout at me. Because you want to create the alertness, attention, and awareness. Okay, shut up, Raymond. Okay, thank you. So how do you think we can join hands to save the planet as shown in the image? I cannot tell you because I'm not the person who designed this question. Ask Jaden, damn it. Very good questions. Very emotional to tell you, since you mentioned join hands. 你懂，我们每次用华文来说，我仿佛陶醉在那个大自然，对吗？Like behind you, is behind，仿佛陶醉在大自然。How often, to be honest, Jaden and Junie and myself, how often do we have this kind of background behind you, Jaden? Very hard in Singapore. So how often in my life, no need to look behind is your kitchen. Bloody hell. I'm saying your wallpaper, and see if I can see you. Uncle Raymond, you can see behind all my trees. That's my kitchen. So, joke aside, the joining hand is to show that we must be in a very healthy relationship and harmonize ourselves together so that we can bring more happiness for a better planet to stay in. All right, Junie, are you done with your questions? What message is the poster trying to convey about our responsibility towards pollutions and the environments? It is to cut down carbon footprints. It is to make sure the more tree we plant, the more tree can absorb carbon dioxide and reduce pollutions, because plant is the best way to reduce pollutions. How can individuals join hands to save the planet in their daily life? We need to advocate and have passions and have the responsibility and duty and tenacity to work together to give this planet, Mother Earth, a place to breathe. Because we call Mother Earth, you know why, Jaden and Julie? Because it keeps producing new things, to sprout more things, to mushroom more beautiful things like the one behind you to see. Because we want the next few generations to see a doodoo bird, or even a Siberian tiger, or even a panda, like my cousin, okay? Recently, my cousin panda was sending email to me that the France did not take care of that poor panda baby, you know, right? Do you know that? You know, right? Jaden, you know, right? He was sent back, right? He said, Uncle Raymond, help me. The French people, they're bad. Oh, I got background information. Help me. That's my wife, sorry. Okay. Why do you think awareness campaigns like World Environment Days are important for students? Whoa. We start young, Judy. If we don't start young to educate the younger generation, they take things for granted. Remember when we are young, our parents say, especially our grandparents say, you know, 我们要吃完那个饭，你懂那这些人种米的人很辛苦。We need to show the appreciations. We need to show the kindness to these people. And we need to create the awareness so that we can pass down our knowledge to the next generation, that if we do not take care of the environments, who is going to take care of the environment? It's our duty. Okay? Thank you. So now you know, instead of you answering the questions, before you do next week, Jaden and Judy, before you do this visual graphic text next week, don't straight away look at behind the question already. Don't look at the question first. Ask yourself, hey, what is this poster about? What is it going to tell me? What is it going to be related to? Is it related to environment, related to war, related to racial, race, or religions, related to what? Okay. Look at this one here. You see, do you realize this poster? Out of this poster, which one has the most biggest pictures? The very attention seeking? This one. You realize all these are very small, but you see the conserve water is the most important. Like we study science in primary school. No, we got air, food, sunlight, all these things, but water is the most important. Why? Because when we start to plant the seed, of course we need soil. But do you know some plant don't need soil? Sometimes most of the plant, the seed, need water. Water. Okay, we can live without food for 1 week or so, but we cannot live without water for 3 days. Without water for 3 days, it's very hard to survive already. So like they see the volunteer, all this, we talk about it just now, right? This one we talk about, Junie also, Jaden, they talk about this. Then we don't use chemical, bright ideas. Ready? Okay, so what is Uncle Raymond's? Look here, you want, you can copy. So for Uncle Raymond to ensure and protect our environment in Singapore, we need to do these things. It's all about words of action. So what is your acronyms for environments and ecologies? Ready? Always keep in mind, as a Singaporean, like you and me, it is our duty and responsibility to keep Singapore awesome. Create an environment that is conducive, caring, and constructive to live in, which is above all these things here. Tenacity to continue to strive for the best effort for Singapore. Thank you, Junie. Remember the last questions about student, that one. Let me refer back. Why do you think awareness campaigns like World Environment Days are important for students? So this is what the tenacity to continue to survive for the best effort for Singapore. To answer your question number 3, Junie, individual effort is where it starts from here to expand to the community and to the country. Right? So individual effort is very important. You know about this Indian uncle, right? He go and 所谓你听过愚公移山, right? So people laugh at me. 哇老爷爷你怎么可能把那个山移走？我不能做，可是我要开始。I always start first. That's called the role model. 我不做，我要做。就算我死了，我有我的子子孙孙，终有一天能把这个山移走。So someone have to start the initiative, and it's called leadership. All right. Now, organize volunteer activities through Singapore to help everyone to have a good environment. So you always start with someone, one person to take the initiative to start off this campaign, and everyone say, hey, wow, I didn't know, let's do it. And because of this initiative by individual, the government will wake up, oh my God, how can I never think of that? The government is not God. The governments are like you and me, are all human beings. They are selected by us as a government because we think they are capable and able to do a good job. And that's why we vote for them. There are other countries, their government are so effed up. Okay? Failure. Because of their corruptions, right? So nurture the next generation to be better prepared for the future environment crisis. Now, exactly what you said, Junie and Jaden, your questions. Jaden, your question is that how do you think we can join hands to save the planet as shown in the image? Nurture. I answer your question already, right? I never expect this kind of question. So all these actions already answer to your questions. Next, the last but the most important, show the way Singapore is the best place to live, to work, to study, and to retire as well. A lot of my friends, relatives, and students, everyone say Singapore is damn effed up. Why? Really F word, The F words, really F word, the very vulgar F word. I asked them, why do you think Singapore is such an F country? Expensive lah, okay. Everything also, government say this cannot, that cannot lah. A really fine city lah. Complain about restriction of freedom of speech lah. Complain about the government, always the MRT broke down lah. And complain about the MOE cannot take care of the bully case lah. MOE is getting softer. And 你很厉害你来做 government 你很厉害，你讲talking is free action is not free So how do we show? Our government is not God, I told you already. We are doing our best with all our zest to beat the test, and not necessarily must win the rest from east to west. And we want to always be top of the press, like the mountain you have behind you, Jaden, and my mountain behind me. But the thing is that how are we going to show to the world with these environments and ecologies is to show that we are united as one people. We are a diverse country with multi-racial, multi-religions, and the most important thing, 我们都是一视同仁, which is meritocracy. Now, meritocracy, last time, my generation is all about academic result. But now the meritocracy is different in terms of how much contribution you have for this country, for your family, and for yourself to make a legacy. So all these people who talk very easy, they complain a lot. But have you ever take a 3-step backwards or 3-step forward and see for yourself as an individual, what can you do? So instead of complaining, why don't you give suggestion? Why don't you take your initiative and independence and intuitive to come out and say your ingenious ideas, say, hey, government, I'm doing this, wake up your bloody idea. And the government will appreciate it and say, okay, come, let's talk about it and see it improve. There are many cases in Singapore like that we, as a country, we recognize each and every one contribution to show how it is. If not, Jayden, Junie, why your parents from overseas, other country want to come to this small little red dog? Why don't go to Australia, New Zealand, US, UK, and other parts of the country in the world? There must be something to show to them that they feel that there is a word called actions. Always create tenacity, individual, organize, nurture, and show to the world. So this is my acronym. So maybe I hope it can help you in your future use of environments. Okay. So let's talk about this now. Can I start with this? How and what can we do? Just now. Ready? Everyone read the one paragraph. Singapore is a bustling global city states with a dense populations. It's a high vulnerable to environmental challenges such as climate change, pollutions, and resource depletions. However, the country has made considerable progress in addressing these issues through innovative solutions, policy, and active citizen participation. This essay explores several approaches and actions that can help protect the environment in Singapore, focusing on sustainable practices, government's policy, and communities' engagements. Back to you, Junie. Number 1, please.
Promoting sustainable urban planning. One of the most effective ways to protect the environment in Singapore is through sustainable urban planning. Given the limited land space and high population density, Singapore has been a pioneer in implementing vertical solutions such as green buildings, rooftops, gardens, and eco-friendly infrastructure. Urban planning must continue to focus on integrating nature with urban spaces. Green spaces like parks, nature reserves, and green roofs not only provide recreational spaces, but also help maintain biodiversity and reduce the urban heat island effect. Singapore's Garden by the Bay is a prime example of how the city blends nature with urban infrastructure. Expanding such green initiative and encouraging more environmentally friendly building designs through incentives can significantly reduce carbon emissions and energy consumption.
Yeah, thank you very much. So you realize that, Jayden, you're right, vertical, what you call vertical solutions, that's what you mentioned just now. Well done. So I did not teach you, you teach us just now. Okay, and this is very important to take note of this. Why? Because eventually, how should I say? How do I say? We have to find very creative urban planning because Singapore is such a land size that is smaller than Johor Bahru, but yet we can squeeze every single thing that is so to beautify the place. Reducing carbon footprints and through clean energy. Back to you, Jayden.
Reducing Singapore's carbon footprint is critical to fighting climate change. The country has made notable strides in transitioning to cleaner sources of energy. As part of the Singapore Green Plan 2030, the government aims to increase solar energy capacity, focusing on solar panels on rooftops and other infrastructure. However, Singapore faces challenges due to its limited land area for large-scale solar installations, which calls for continued innovation in solar energy technologies, including floating solar farms. Furthermore, the adoption of electric vehicles (EVs) is an essential strategy to reduce emissions from transportation. The government has pledged to phase out internal combustion engine vehicles by 2040, invest in EV infrastructure such as charging stations, Promoting the use of public transportation and cycling is another way to decrease individual carbon footprints.
By the time 2040, your uncle here is about 70 years old. Now it's 20 years old. I'm now 50 plus. 56, 920, yeah, about 70 plus. By then, I already one leg going to coffin already. So this is where you, Jaden and Junie, is going to show your passion and avocations and your leadership to take actions to see how can we do that and make sure that this EV can work in Singapore. Back to you, Junie. Waste management and recycling.
Singapore has long been known for its efficient waste management systems. However, with growing consumption and a rising population, it remains crucial to focus on reducing, reusing, and recycling materials. The government's Zero Waste Master Plan is a step in the right direction, aiming to reduce waste sent to landfills and increase recycling rates. Initiatives such as the SG Green Plan promote the use of technology and innovation to minimize waste and optimize recycling processes. One of the most pressing concerns is plastic waste, which contributes to land and marine pollution. Encouraging citizens to reduce plastic use through policies like the ban on single-use plastics and providing alternatives, such as reusable bags, bottles, and containers, is an essential move. Public education campaigns can also help raise awareness about waste reduction practices and the importance of recycling.
I won't be surprised in future some genius or ingenious people, scientists will come out a kind of plastic that is really plastic, but is the quality of plastic is different to what our plastic we are using. And it might make this plastic not only affordable, acceptable, and feasible to use. You never know. Because like I say, zero waste master plan is near impossible or possible. But then again, it's up to your generation to make a decisions what you're going to change. Your parents and I have made a very drastic and enormous decisions to change the entire process to become eco-friendly and less global warming. So the rest is up to you to see what is your transformation. Because back to you, Jaden.
Water scarcity is a significant concern for Singapore, given the country's lack of natural freshwater resources. To address this, the Singapore government has implemented a range of policies to promote water conservation. The Public Utilities Board (PUB) has introduced initiatives such as water-efficient appliances, rainwater harvesting, and the New Water Program, which purifies wastewater to make it drinkable. Singapore's efficient water management system has garnered international attention, but citizens must also play a role in conserving water. Public awareness campaigns urging people to reduce water wastage, fix leaks, and use water-efficient technologies can contribute to the country's long-term water sustainability.
It's really up to you. As long as both of you want to continue to stay in Singapore and make this your homeland and make this the day when you return the IC to the government means bye-bye. You kick the bucket. And make sure that your next few generation want to stay in Singapore. You better make it a good one. Okay, and not to screw up these whole things. Back to you, Junie. Encouraging sustainable lifestyle choices.
Individual actions also play a crucial role in protecting the environment. The government can support environmentally friendly practices by incentivizing sustainable
Incentivizing.
incentivizing sustainable consumption, such as reducing food waste and promoting sustainable fashion. Businesses too should adopt corporate social responsibility practices and contribute to sustainability goals. In addition, adoption plant-based diets, reducing meat consumption, and supporting locally sourced organic food can significantly reduce the environmental impact. Education can sustainable Education on sustainable lifestyle should be an ongoing process aimed at creating a collective mindset focused on environmental processes protection.
Thank you. What do you think? You see, in order to have a good lifestyle, remember just now we talked about the LV bag and the Chanel or the JL fashion or JU fashions, whether you want to throw away give to the poor people, or you want to do something about or recycle, reduce your fashion designer wear. It's a lifestyle choice. So there are some people who, some of them who are staying in a certain house, they need to turn on 24 hours aircon in the house. Even they are not at home, they'll still turn on the aircon 24 hours. 我有钱吗？我喜欢呢。That's my lifestyle. Do you know, Jaden, I got a friend, they have this room for aircon 24 hours just for his Chocho. You know Chocho, the good dog. Dog very, very, a lot of fur. Just to on the aircon 24 hours for the dog. 哇，那个狗比人更好命。I don't know. Lifestyle, your choice, correct? Let's see how you see it. Last but not least, Jaden.
Finally, Singapore must foster a culture of environmental responsibility through active community engagement and education. Schools, NGOs, and local organizations should collaborate to raise awareness about the importance of environmental conservation. Singapore's Green Singapore movement, which encourages both citizens and corporations to take part in environmental efforts, has already laid the foundation for collective action. By providing environmental education from an early age, Singapore can ensure that future generations are equipped with the knowledge and values needed to protect the environment. Public initiatives such as beach cleanups, tree planting campaigns, and volunteer programs allow individuals to directly contribute to environmental efforts. Involving youth and local communities in environmental advocacy not only increases awareness but also helps create a deeper sense of connection into the environment.
I totally agree with this one. The education is the most important. Mr. Lee Kuan Yew took the efforts to clean out the Clarke Quay, the Boat Quay. At that time was so horrible smell, was really a freaking smell. And the tree planting is one of the way to educate. And you realize every year the minister will go around to do tree planting, advocates of about go green. And that's why you realize Singapore got this name called the Garden City. Right, to tell the world that in fact, this has been done 60 years ago already. It was so powerful as a big statement to the world. Until today, we got Garden by the Base to tell people, you see, we really put in all kind of flora and fauna things to the world, and people come here just to see it. And the best thing, Jaden and Judy, the orchid. That is the one, the guohua. You realize this orchid now, of all the flower, you realize our forefather is damn freaking smart. They don't want to choose hibiscus, rose, or whatever flower, but why orchids? Orchid is a flower that have tenacities and perseverance and resilience. So it's just like to represent each and every one of us. Why? Ready? Conclusions. Like orchid is like protecting the whole environments. You realize the moment you step down, when you came back from overseas in Changi Airport, you will see a lot of orchids. It's like, wow, that all the orchids is like a very strong, the Sparta army, that come and welcome you with good intentions to show the resilience of this country. Protecting the environment in Singapore requires a multifaceted approach, combining sustainable urban planning, renewables energy adoptions, waste management, water conservation, and a collective or cultural shift towards sustainability. So this cultural shift is like the past and the present and the futures, what your next generation thinks about keeping Singapore, while the governments plays a significant role in setting policy and providing infrastructures. Fair enough. That's why the big one. Individual actions and communities' involvements are equally important in safeguarding the nation environmental environmental future. By continuing to innovate, educate, and collaborate, write down these three words, very powerful. Singapore can continue to lead by example in balancing urban developments with environmental protections. So what is your epistemology today, that what you have learned and what you know and what are you going to put this knowledge into use? Is that very simple. Environment is like our friend together, work together. Remember the one you showed last few weeks when holding the planets like this, and the one you shake hand with the plants or even with the nature, it shows that 我们是息息相关的. It's very knitted together. We need one another. So there's one picture to say that you can say your air, your sun, your water, your microorganism, but at the end of the day, it's the mammals, the human is the one who make these environments and this planet Earth more interesting. Of course, the rest are important, but it's the mammal is the one who make the rest to be more clean and nice. Okay, 来，我们来做这个 exercise. Shit. Very tricky, this question here. Be careful. Let's go. I go to toilet first. Once you're done, please submit your answer. Thank you. Read carefully, the provenance, the text 1 and text 2. It say that it's taken from a poster for a charity car wash. Definitely is positive, right? And it say it's taken from a social media. So maybe you can take a pinch of salt. Maybe it's not real, not true. But then again, if both of them are, what is it, how it related to today's topic? All right, let's look at the questions now, the answer. So on the table, sorry, bro, it's on the table. Yes. Well done, huh? It's from a car wash on the table, obviously, right? Why? Because the picture says that once you have a car wash, you put it on the table. Because when you have money washing the car, the money can provide food to this Melissa, right? This girl is called Melissa. Yes, Melissa. Well done. So let's see. Okay, both your answer is correct. Text one, both. Text one, text two. Wow, hey, you all got number one correct. Text one. Well done, Jaden, Junie. There's some students who say neither. How you know, Junie? How you know it's text one? Well done, man. Damn it. You are good, man. Why, Jaden? Junie, sorry.
I infer.
Huh?
I infer.
I know. But how you know you infer that this one is like you're putting in yourself a shoe to Melissa, Like you say, like how residents, you put there, you say like this one. Readers are encouraged to imagine the life of a resident at home. How do you infer? You study literature, is it?
I studied literature when I was Sec 2 and Sec
Very
1.
but Set 3 没有
No.
Okay, but how? Good. That means you use your literature to do this question, no? Very good. How, may I ask? How do you know it's text one? Not many people get it correct, no?
It's like the tone of it.
The tone, Hey, can you please help me now? I really feel bad. No, I feel for you, right? How about Jaden? You got study Chinese literature, right? So how? Why you think text one?
I just had a feeling.
Oh, OK，这种 feeling 很难 explain 的有时候就是觉得那种第六感the sixth sense, right? I know what you mean. It's sometimes it's really beyond I just feel it, lor. That it's not I don't want to explain to you. It's just I feel that this is something to do with you feel it. Very simple. It's like I feel for the person because I went through this kind of shit in my life, Jaden. When I was young, I don't even have really proper food during my Chinese New Year with my mom. We eat Maggie mee during the 团年饭. That was when I was 5 or 6 years old. You know how pathetic I was. I still can remember a bit. It's so pathetic, really damn sickening life I have. So thank you very much. So let's talk about this before we end the lesson. We got about a couple of minutes. Okay, let's do this. Can we get one of you to read first? Jaden, can you read number one, please? Wait. Okay, go.
Step 1. Plan. Get a blank piece of paper and outline the material you need to study. This helps develop a big picture overview of the material. Start with big topics and leave room for subtopics. Alternatively, you can start with weak topics first or plan your time to spend a little more on the weak subjects first. Fill in the information as best as you can. Get another sheet of paper and start over if necessary. Once you see all the units of information in front of you, it will be easier to organize your study. This will help you with the next step.
I use this method for my history and literature. I don't know about you. This is practically I really plan and in terms of regurgitating and memorizing and keep repeating the same thing. By the way, all of you okay with text two? Any question for this? It's both. No, it's text two. The tone to show that they feel for it. Sorry, I forgot to go through. So the readers and the persons, right? The readers and the who the readers and the writers feel the same about this. Together, they want to do a good cause for the Casuarina Children's Home for the weekends to help them to go through and have fun and together. So they feel for it. Thank you. And the next one, damn sickening. Okay, come. Junie, step 2.
Do I read it?
Yes, please. Identify.
Break the material into smaller chunks and study each one. Only once you understand each one should you move on to the next. Do this part alone in your quiet study place. This is where you start to memorize the information you will need later. Write down any questions you may have. Please bring in your 9 friends. Identify your AW1 and 1H methodology.
Methodology.
Methodology. Why I need to read this, what to memorize, how to plan and study better, who to ask for help, which topics or notes to start with and which is more important. When do I need to complete my revision? Whose notes or feedbacks or ideas is better to use and remember? Whom do I think is available to revise and discuss with? Where's the best place and resource center to get on to prepare for my exam?
Always choose the best note if your friends are willing to share. And whom do you think that is available? Maybe your group friend to study in group together. Number 3, execute. The next step is to work with someone else to clarify anything that's confusing. Work with others. Go to review sessions. See a tutor or work with the professor or tutor. This will continue all the way to your university as well. At this point of time, it is important to make sure that everything is clearly understood before you go for the exam. This is crucial. If this step is skipped, then you are left with trying to memorize 100 useless rhetorics. It will never means anything to you later. So best is 不要临时抱佛脚. Execute your study plan with an open mind, open heart. Remember the beginning, I talked about the brain and heart together, right? And do things in complicated, and do not think in complicated manner. Do it meticulously and diligently. So here we are, we have this one here. Look at here. Okay, so seriously, nobody want to be in this pie here. This is the worst pie. Okay, y'all can read for yourself. Late submission, you hate the subject. Just like me, I hate maths. That's why I'm in this quadrant here. So of course, you got the average pie here that we are talking about here. Is it pure luck? It's just lucky that I don't like the subject, but I got a bit of knowledge, but thank God I just managed to pass. These two, please ignore it. Don't ever take these two if you can. Then next is a survival pie. So you can have high interest and high motivation, but you cannot score high. This one you can score high, but because how often are you lucky enough? How often are you so lucky that you sometimes can spot the question that came out like history, geography, or even your science or math, right? How often you're so lucky? So this one is survival. Survival pie is like the study method correct? But happen you study this is the method you study, but you must think that sometimes you need to learn, relearn, and unlearn. Maybe I think the way I study is like that is wrong, even though the information is there, but maybe the methods, the methodology, remember this part here? That is, I cannot get along with. I need somehow rather to do that. This one, I need somehow rather to change my concept. This is the best pie. Good result, high commitment. So you really have to spend good quality of time to do something about it. How to do something about it, ladies and gentlemen? So please spend more time now at this couple of days here to get to know what is happening, the 8W and 1H, so that you are able to look through it carefully. And the most important things, please, if you revise and you think that you're still not strong, don't continue to do the same thing, guys. Put it one side first, go and do other things first, and come back and refresh. Because sometimes you might have mental block. Okay, don't let this happen. Once you mental block, you study other subject, you will still block you. So just let it go first, come back and then revise again and see whether is it good or not. Okay. All right, so I will stop here. I know you're having exam tomorrow.